this is Michelle with Straw-Bearie Designs, and today we're going to make a 4th of July card. It's going to look something like this. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take just a cream card. This is just some really old card that I've had for a long time, and I'm going to put some dark blue on it so that there's just a little bit of an edge of the cream showing. Now, I'm going to take my, I guess I can go ahead and do this, take my red, it's a little bit of a red plaid, and I'm going to stick this on here with just a little bit of an edge showing. And I can go ahead and do that with this piece as well. Now, I have these 4 blue squares, and I'm going to emboss them, but I would like to add a little color to them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp pad and my embossing folders, and I'm going to get my embossing folders all inky. So there's ink all over them, and I'm going to place my blue card inside like that and close it up. And I have 4 different star embossing folders, so I'm going to do that with each one. Get it nice and inky, set it in there. And I will warn you, if you do this, your fingers will get all nice and inky as well, and you will look like you've been playing with ink. But crafting can't be fun unless you get a little messy, right? I'm going to do that with all 4 of my folders and all 4 of my papers. These are from Cuttlebug Provocraft. Just using a dark blue ink just to give it a little bit of texture and dimension, not really a lot of color. Now I'm going to take my Sizzix Texture Boutique, and I need to make my little sandwiches. So I'm going to put them on there. Of course, you can use whatever embosser or die cutter you have. The Sizzix Texture Boutique is only an embosser. I'm going to stick it in there, turn the crank, and voila! I should have just a little bit of color on each of my blue squares, just to add a little bit of extra dimension to them. In just a moment, I will go back and I will clean off my embossing folders with a baby wipe and run maybe a baby wipe through the embossing folders. But right now, I'm going to take and ink the edges up just a little bit more, just to make sure the edges have like kind of a little bit of a darker border on each of my stars. Like I said, this is kind of a messy one with the ink. Now, once I have done all those edges, I would like to bring out the pattern that I embossed just a little bit more. So I'm going to take a gold, this is Colorbox ink pad, and I'm just going to kind of go over it, over the raised areas, just a little bit, just to kind of bring out this dimension in this. Not enough to, you know, make a huge difference, just a little bit of brightness. And if you smear a little bit like that, that's okay. That just kind of adds to the look. Kind of going for a, I don't know what kind of look, not a real clean look, just kind of maybe even a rustic look, I guess you would say. Trying to get all my raised edges of my stars. That looks nice. Need a little bit more on this one. Okay, now that that is done, I'm going to place these squares on my card to decide which way I want to do it. And I'm just using a glue runner to place these on. I want to leave a little bit of gap on the sides and a little bit of gap in the middle, so I'm going to remove this one real fast and give it just a little bit more gap because I made that one a little too close. This glue runner is permanent, but when you first use it, it's got a little tiny bit of time that you can maneuver it before it sticks permanently. And put all four down, like so. Now, I went ahead and just a little bit more glue. Off camera, I took my little mini alphabet set and I stamped Happy 4th. I didn't have a number stamp, so I just used a marker to draw that in. That looks a little too clean to me, so I'm going to use the same blue that I've been using, and I'm going to go over the edges again. And it still looks just a little too clean, so I'm going to kind of run it across, give it a little bit more of a rustic look to it. And now this piece is ready to be glued down as well. Next, I'm going to take some little jute twine and a button. I'm going to thread a little rope through my button. And I'm going to tie it in a nice little bow. Probably should have left myself a little bit more of an end. Wow, my fingers are filthy. It's all ink, I promise. It's not mud or dirt or anything like that. Alright. I have a cute little bow. Trim off the excess. And I'm going to use a glue dot to stick to the back of my button. And I'm going to stick my button right in the middle of my card. And there you have it, a cute little 4th of July card. And you can see here's another one that I did with a red button. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And until next time, have fun crafting.